Hello, story lovers, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're venturing deep into a magical forest to meet two unlikely best friends. Once upon a time, nestled among towering trees and sparkling streams, lived a clever fox and a graceful cat. The fox, with his bright red fur and even brighter mind, was famous throughout the forest for his endless bag of tricks and cunning plans. He could outsmart anyone and find his way out of any sticky situation. His best friend was a sleek, elegant cat. She was known for her lightning-fast paws and her ability to leap from branch to branch without making a single sound. She moved like a shadow, graceful and silent. Though the fox was all about clever schemes and the cat was all about nimble action, they were the closest of friends. Their favorite thing to do was to wander through the winding paths of the forest, sharing stories and discovering new wonders together. They were a perfect team, complementing each other's strengths. The fox would spot a tricky puzzle, and the cat would use her agility to solve it. They spent their days laughing and playing, their friendship a well-known tale among the other forest creatures. One particularly sunny afternoon, the air was warm and filled with the sweet scent of wildflowers. The fox and the cat were strolling along their favorite path, the one that led to the crystal-clear river. The sunlight dappled through the leaves, creating dancing patterns on the ground. The fox was in the middle of telling a very funny story about a squirrel who had tried to hide a nut in his own ear, and the cat was giggling, her whiskers twitching with amusement. Suddenly, their laughter was cut short by a loud, sharp snap that echoed through the trees. It sounded like a giant twig breaking, but much, much louder. The sound came from somewhere deep within the woods, far off the beaten path. The birds in the trees fell silent, and a hush fell over the forest. The fox's ears perked up, and the cat's fur stood on end. They exchanged a wide-eyed look. It was a sound they had never heard before, and it sent a shiver of both fear and curiosity down their spines. What could have made such a noise? Being the adventurers they were, they knew they had to investigate. Without a word, they turned and began to creep cautiously in the direction of the mysterious sound, their playful walk turning into a silent, determined mission. As they moved deeper into the woods, the familiar, friendly forest began to feel different. The trees grew closer together, their branches intertwining to form a thick canopy that blocked out the sun. It was darker here, and quieter. The only sound was the soft crunch of their paws on the leafy ground. The fox, using his keen sense of smell, led the way, his nose twitching as he tried to catch a scent. The cat followed closely behind, her sharp eyes scanning every shadow and every bush. They moved as one, a silent team ready for whatever they might find. After a few minutes of tense walking, they stumbled into a small clearing they had never seen before. And there, in the middle of the clearing, was the source of the sound. It was a large, crude trap made of wood and rope, and caught inside it was a young, frightened bear cub. He was whimpering softly, his eyes wide with panic as he struggled against the ropes that held him fast. He was clearly in distress, and seeing him, the hearts of the fox and the cat filled with pity. They knew they couldn't just leave him there. The fox immediately started circling the trap, his sharp mind analyzing the complex knots in the mechanism. "Don't worry, little one," he said in a calm, reassuring voice. "We'll get you out of there." The cat, meanwhile, approached the cub slowly, purring softly to try and soothe him. "It's okay," she murmured. "We're friends." The fox pointed with his nose. "See that main rope? It's holding the whole thing together. If we can sever that, the rest of the trap should loosen." But the rope was thick and strong. The fox tried biting it, but his teeth couldn't make a dent. The cat tried scratching it, but her claws just slid off the tough fibers. They were starting to feel hopeless. The cub began to cry again, thinking he was doomed. But the fox wasn't one to give up. He looked around the clearing, his eyes darting from one object to another. Then he spotted it. A sharp, flat piece of flint rock lying near the base of an old oak tree. "Cat! The rock!" he yelped. "Bring it here!" The cat, quick as a flash, dashed over, grabbed the flint in her mouth, and brought it back. The fox took the rock and, holding it steady with his paws, began to saw back and forth against the main rope. It was slow, hard work. Saw, saw, saw. He worked tirelessly, his muscles aching. The cat stood guard, watching the forest entrance and comforting the little cub. Strand by strand, the tough fibers of the rope began to fray. Finally, with one last powerful push, the rope snapped. The trap sprang open, and the bear cub tumbled out free at last. He was a little shaken but unharmed. He looked at the fox and the cat with huge, grateful eyes. thank you, he squeaked. You saved me. Just then they heard another sound, a heavy rustling in the bushes. A massive mother bear crashed into the clearing, her eyes wild with worry. She stopped dead when she saw her cub, safe and sound, next to the fox and the cat. Relief washed over her face. She nuzzled her cub, then turned to the two friends and gave them a deep, rumbling thank you that vibrated through the ground. From that day on, the fox and the cat weren't just known for being clever and graceful. They were known as the heroes of the forest, and their bond, forged in adventure and kindness, was stronger than ever. What a wonderful story about courage and teamwork. It just goes to show that no matter how different we are, we can achieve amazing things when we work together. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you enjoyed our story, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next adventure. See you next time!